Hi guys, welcome back, and hello if you are new. I hope all of you are having a fantastic week so far. Created out of nothing after Norwegian childhood friends Simon Bergseth and Martin Utby both went out to hang in a cabin as friends, it finally dawned on them that they should actually start a band together. They returned to the cabin with instruments, not really knowing what kind of music they were going to make, or even if they were going to release any music. Little did they know that Inside Out would sign them in 2021, and the music they were writing would end up becoming the Approbation, Avkrvst's first ever album. Where sounds are concerned, I would say that the Approbation and Avkrvst sound is very much kind of a meld of post-rock, prog metal, a bit of electronica here and there, but it's a very sort of, I think, quite mature sound given the fact that this is their debut album. That post-rock sort of idea is explored on Isolation, and the Pale Moon kind of, brings home that sort of prog metal aesthetic. The album is also a concept album. How very prog. The story of this concept details a man who lives in isolation in this cabin. Away from civilization in this cabin, he's alone with his thoughts and is slowly coming to the understanding that his time on Earth is very soon going to be over. In a way, I think that this isolation in the concept is very much kind of retelling of how the friends felt when they were in this cabin, away from the world and really able to kind of immerse themselves in their own creativity. It is hard to deny, though, that there are pretty obvious Opeth and Porcupine Tree influences that are littered throughout this record. The album opens with Østerdalen, which for me is a really nice open acoustic piece. And previously I sort of likened it to Damnation era Opeth, but the more that I've listened to it, the more that I can see that there are those sort of like germinations of Avkrvst's own identity coming through here. But the Pale Moon, which is the track which follows, is very much, classic prog metal territory. Big riffs, nice weighty drums. The drums sound incredible on this record as well, I have to say. And that huge kind of open, I think it's an open D, but a sort of big open chord that's very, very dark at the same time, but also very rich in texture. And I like the way that there's often a sense of claustrophobia that's sort of in the verse section on guitar, on the Great White River, but then it's counteracted by this sort of very open chorus, which we kind of get, as the song kind of progresses. Anodyne, though, I think is where things get very interesting for the band, and we start to see amidst, these kind of other classic band identities, really start to see what Avkrvst kind of might actually sound like. I have to say, though, definitely the best track is the final song, The Approbation. It's, I would say, the most true to what I think Avkrvst are trying to kind of do. It doesn't necessarily sound like they're trying to imitate anyone else. I really liked the way that the guitar work and piano work together. I thought that was really interesting, and also the way that the song ends is again, with that sort of like wide open space, and it also creates a nice sort of loop to start the album again with Østerdalen. As I mentioned, the drums sound absolutely brilliant. I think the guitar tone is pretty cool. The bass sounds nice and crunchy on Arcane Clouds. I think particularly that sort of song really kind of stood out to me in terms of bass. And there is a variety of guitar playing on display here, and it is it's a bit similar in places, but I think it really does showcase a lot of potential. And the influences on this album, I think, range from anything from like Insomnium to Leprous, Opeth, Porcupine Tree, a little bit of Cynic in some of the sort of vocoder effects. And to be honest, given that this is their first album and they never even expected to be signed and weren't even sure if they were going to put out music, they're not doing badly. So this might not have, blown me away to the point of album of the year material, but it's definitely made me take serious notice. And I think all of you guys should as well, to make sure you see what Avkrvst are up to and how they're going to follow this one up. I also think it will be really, really good to see this live as well. So I hope they come down to the UK at some point soon. Give it a go, see what you think. And so for that reason, I'm going to give this album a 7.5 out of 10. Solid effort. And I look forward to seeing what happens in the future with this very, very exciting band. So I hope you guys enjoyed this album review. Let me know what you think in the comments underneath me. I always appreciate all the support. And if you could hit that like and subscribe button, share this video with anyone you think might enjoy it. And I'll see you guys very, very soon for another album review. Take care, my friends.